All right, welcome back. Welcome back again. Still the holiday season, that's right. And again, as I mentioned, you don't have to take this. If somebody's asking you to bring something or you volunteer to bring something, don't bring this. You can make your own, even tastier than just buying it in a box or a container. But what are we doing today? We're going to use these. All right, welcome back everybody. I'm Dave Guerra. Happy holidays. Hope it's going well for you. We're having fun here at the This Vet Cooks kitchen, as you can tell, with our dollars and dollars of holiday set. So again, just having some fun. It's the holidays. Have some fun. Jeez. All right, so what are we doing today? Well, as you saw at the top of the show, it was in a package, but we're using these little bellow mushrooms. Pretty cool, nice round. And what we're going to do is we're going to make stuffed mushrooms. Stuffed mushrooms, another holiday staple here at the This Vet Cook household. And what we're going to do is we're going to pop these things out of here in just a bit. We'll pop them out with a spoon or something, but we'll get them out of here. There we go. That's a little bit easier. And see what it does is when we pop them, it creates a little cavity there, a little bowl, baby tiny bowl for elves, gnomes, for gnomes, bowl for gnomes. And we're going to do we're going to chop up the stems because hey, got to use the stems. That's all I can say about that. All right, so you got to use the stems. Don't throw the stems away. Not in this economy. We're going to chop them up with some onions, some garlic, and we're going to get them all nice and crispy, all nice and delicious. Then we're going to stuff these mushrooms with them. And again, plenty of room in there. If you really, I don't know if you can, how much you can see in there, but there's plenty of room in there. Nice little bowl there, right? So again, let's get to. Well, before we do that, let's go over the ingredient list. Mushrooms, minced onions, minced garlic, some Parmesan, there's the Parmesan again, an extra on top, some breadcrumbs, and salt and pepper to taste. Let's have some fun. Let's get started. Let's make these bad boys. Alrighty. Folks, again, preheat your oven, 375. We're going to be cooking these for about 20-30 minutes. Again, we're going to keep an eye on these, and I'll talk you through it a little bit. So again, just preheat your oven, 375. All right, now what are we going to do? We're going to do some of this spray. We're going to spray this Temptations bowl. Because once we stuff these mushrooms, in which we can start prepping, right? So we take the stems off, and we can go ahead and lay them all out nice and neat. Look at that! Look at that one! Look at this one! So a lot of space in there, a lot of space. It's going to be tasty. We got 8 of them. Wow, not bad, delicious. And again, depending on how many you're cooking for, and again, it's going to take some time because you got to do a little chopping and dicing, and again, but other than that. You know, you show up with this, it's going to be delicious, and everybody's going to go like, wow, what got into you? Right? So again, if you've never done this, this will be the hit of the party. Everybody will be like, is it flabbergasted? Well, at least you'll dumbfound your enemies and excite your friends. There you go. So that's a good thing. So again, where'd that come from? It is the holiday season, so let's have some fun. All right, so there they are. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and saute the mushroom stems. Remember, got to use the stems. Always use the stems. Onions and some garlic on a skillet real quick. Let's get them going, and then we will start stuffing. So we'll be right back. Alrighty, just want to remind everybody that yes, I did say 8. Unfortunately, no, I only had 6 there, so we added a 7th one. So there we go, a little feng shui thing going on there with the 7th, the odd number, which is a good thing. Remember, 3s, 5s, and 7s. 3s really, but again, 5 and 7 is okay. It gets messy, but you know, 3 is good. So again, there they all are. We'll start stuffing these here in a second. Let me get back to sauteing. Alrighty, so it's in the show notes. It's in the ingredient list. Breadcrumbs. You're going to need some breadcrumbs. You're going to need a quarter of a cup. And again, we're using our Hill Country Fare, not sponsored by HEB, plain breadcrumbs. Hey, have you tried the pork rind breadcrumbs? Well, they're not really breadcrumbs, but they're pork rind crumbs. They're really good. We might try that next year with this recipe. All right, so we took the, that's what's over here, is the skillet of the onions and the garlic and the mushroom stems, again the stems. So now we're going to add this on top of that. We'll stir it, give it a stir, and a quarter cup of grated, not grated, but you know, yeah, it is grated technically, pulverized Parmesan. It's grated. Alright, so there they are. And again, we're going to get it stirring again while it's still hot, because the cheese will melt. There we go. There we go. Get it in there. We'll get a spoon here in just a second. We'll start spooning this in. Yeah, I'll give this one a try. Right. Looks good. Again, just mix it up. Nothing fancy. You see, I do it here in a little small 9-inch pan. Alright, let's go for broke. Remember, you got a lot of space in here. Will it all go in there at one time? Probably not. See how it spills over the top? But you can pack it in. How does that song go? Pack it up, pack it in, let me begin. I know we're getting more every place else than in the mushroom, but hey. Alright, so you got it packed in there. Now we got to finish the rest of this, because it all can, it's got to go in there. We just pile it on. A heaping helping of our hospitality. There we go. Alrighty, get it in there. Don't forget, I was just reminded that as we cook it, it's going to start expanding in there, and the cheese will melt and start filling in those crevices. So make sure you pack it in. If you need to, oh, look at that. Yeah, that's what happens when you pack it in. And you're using a big spoon. And I think that's pretty much it. If we get a small spoon, we'll be able to dig out some of that without creating too much havoc. But there we go. Alrighty, in the oven, 20, 30, 40, 50, 7,500 hours. It doesn't matter. No, 30 minutes. 30 minutes to be safe. Again, you'll see it, you'll smell it. Again, it'll be good. Alright, let's get it in the oven. But wait a minute, there's something more we're going to do. We're going to sprinkle some of the grated. We have actual Parmesan, real Parmesan in a block, not in the, there we go, thank you. It's grated. It's Parmesan cheese. We got to be careful now. And oops, wrong side. Sometimes get that on top. I don't know. Do you move the grater or do you move the cheese? Which is that age-old question. I think if you move the grater, it's easier to direct where everything's going. Then again, if you move the cheese, you're definitely getting it where it needs to go. So again, that part, the block of Parmesan was completely optional. It's up to you. You could have added more on top of that if you wanted to. Either way, it's going to be delicious. Let's get this thing in the oven. 30 minutes, 375 degrees. Do not burn down the house. Again, hors d'oeuvres. That's what we're talking about this holiday season. That's where it's at. Let's make it happen. Alrighty, there it is. There's our stuffed mushrooms, fresh out of the 375 degree oven. Do not put your hand here, or anywhere on this vessel unless you have some type of protection, because it'll hurt, it'll burn, it'll sting. Alrighty. So with that being said, there it is. Really quick, really easy. Again, very tasty. Oh, look at that. You can see if I can pull this up. Big hunk of cheese right there. Look at that. Oh, there we go. There we go. Yeah, that looks delicious. Let's give that a tasty taste. Again, that's the onions, the garlic, and the Parmesan cheese and butter. Oh my. That's delicious. Alright, let's take one out of here. Give it a good look. Let it cool down a little bit. You don't want to throw that in your mouth and, like we did, and then just get scalding hot. It's good. Alright, I split it open. There it is. You can see the meat part of the mushroom, and then the filling. It really expanded. It's cheesy. It's delicious. Alright, let's give it a tasty taste, and let's wrap this show up. But again, I want to thank you for stopping by. Thank you for joining me all year long. Hope you're enjoying the recipes. Hope you're liking them. Again, thank you very much for liking, subscribing, commenting, sharing your words and encouragement, and just overall just being there. And again, thank you very much. You are appreciated so very much. Let's have some fun in 2026. Let's move forward. But hey, before we get there, before we get to 2026, I definitely want to share with everybody, it is the holiday season, and well, you know, things can get a little dicey, things can get a little weird, a little funky, but hey, that's why the Veterans Crisis Line and veteranscrisisline.net and the phone and the chat and the texting, you can do it, reach out to them. Again, 988, press the 1 when the automated attendant answers. Alrighty, so make the call, seriously, make the call. And for everybody else, again, 988 works. Again, make the call. You find yourself in a dark spot this holiday season, get there quickly, get out of it even faster, because it happens, right? We end up getting to that dark place really, really fast, but we can get out of it faster. So let's make sure we do that by making the call. So make the call. Alrighty, everybody. Again, thank you very much. Alright, let's give it a tasty taste. Let's, again, the mushroom, the stuffed mushrooms, again with the stems. Alright, the stems, the onions, the garlic. We sauteed that in butter and olive oil. And then we added Parmesan on top of that once we started the stuffing process. And breadcrumbs, and it's delicious. Recipes down below. Let's give it a tasty taste. That's meaty. That's a meaty mushroom. That's delicious. Alright, folks. Happy holidays. Thank you very much. I'm Dave Garrow, and This Vet Cooks.